Puyang is located in the middle part of China, serving as the juncture of Hebei, Shandong and Henan provinces. The Yellow River, the mother river of China, runs through this city, not only nourishing people here, but also creating splendid culture of this city. Puyang is a cultural city passing down ancient civilizations, a livable city with a pleasant climate, and also a vibrant city full of opportunities for development. The name of Puyang is derived from the period of warring states over 2,000 years ago. The city is situated north of the Po River, while the north bank of river represents Yang in China, so it is named Puyang. Po is a time-honored Chinese character, composed of other 4 Chinese characters: human, water, carrier and beauty, with an implied meaning that living along the river, people here enjoy the beautiful environment and promising future. It may be because Chang'e, the inventor of Chinese capitals in legend, was born and grew up in this city. He invented such a wonderful character for his hometown. Chang'e was born in Siguanchuan village, Liangcun County, Puyang, Henan province, and he was buried here after he passed away. Legend has it that Chang'e was the official historian of the Yellow Emperor, and he invented a complete set of hieroglyphics by observing astronomical phenomena and creatures in the nature, integrating the wisdom of people with vision and unifying event symbols of each clan. Later, the Yellow Emperor issued an edict during late spring and early summer, announcing Chang'e's success in inventing characters. It was precisely on this day that a rain of grains fell onto the ground. So, later generations named this day as Rain of Grain, which is one of the 24 traditional Chinese solar terms. Chang'e's invention of characters put an end to the history of the rope knot tying method of recording information, so that the Chinese civilization could be passed on and carried forward. At present, the Chang'e Mausoleum, the Chang'e Temple, and the site of Chang'e's inventing characters still exist in Siguanchuan village. The stone tablet in front of the tomb was inscribed with the poetic couplet, "It is Pan Gu who created a primitive world, while it is Chang'e who advanced the world to civilization," which was said to be written by Kou Zhun, a famous chancellor in the Song dynasty. In this ancient tract of land of Puyang stands a large site of archaeological ruins, telling such stories of how Chinese ancestors lived and bred here. In August 1987, a set of dragon and tiger patterns made of mussel shells was excavated in the west side of Xishui Po in Puyang. According to the scientific determination of carbon-14, it could date back to about 6,400 years ago. The dragon pattern of the ruins was hailed as the first dragon in China, and Puyang also gained a reputation such as the home of Chinese dragon and the capital of Chinese dragon. Archaeologists and cultural scholars, both home and abroad, make a deep research on the ruins of Xishui Po, and they believe that the 4 sets of patterns are dragon, tiger, deer, and spider, respectively, which is a set of ancient astrological diagrams in connection, reflects Chinese ancestors' achievement in astronomical observation and their cosmos outlook of orbicular sky and rectangular Earth. This relic completely reappears how Chinese ancestors led life here 6,400 years ago. So it serves as an important specimen for the study of the origin of Chinese civilization, and enjoys a high status in China's and even the world's archaeology. China has a history of 5,000 years, but this discovery brings the origin of Chinese civilization over 1,400 years forward. Nowadays, in order to vigorously promote the dragon culture, Puyang has held dragon cultural festivals for many times. The games of dragon dancing and dragon boat racing greatly vitalized the city, thus emerging as a famous cultural label of Puyang. The invention of characters made poetry and music flourish. The Book of Songs, the oldest poetry anthology in China, collected 3,005 poems, 39 of which were collected from regions around Puyang. In the spring and autumn period, mulberry trees were fully strewn in Puyang, and young men and women sang among these trees, creating the popular songs of Wei style. The state of Wei, about 1117 BC to 209 BC, was a vassal state of the Zhou dynasty, lasting for as long as 907 years. It moved its capital to Diqiu, Puyang in 629 BC, and had reigned over this city for 388 years. A well-known cultural celebrity once lived in the state of Wei for quite a long time. That is, Confucius. According to the records in documentaries, Confucius left the state of Lu in 496 BC for visiting other states. The state of Wei was his first destination state, and with the state of Wei as the center, he later reciprocated among states such as Cao, Song, Zheng, Ye, Cai, Chen, Chu, encountering trials and tribulations. Eventually, Confucius' intermittent tours in the state of Wei could add up to 10 years, so the state of Wei could be his second hometown. In the latter 6 years in the state of Wei, Confucius submerged himself in teaching and research, often exploring and discussing scholarship with his disciples, which gradually formed Confucianism, featured by benevolent and moral governance. The Analects of Confucius is a book compiled by the disciples of Confucius, many chapters of which refer to the state of Wei. In the book, over 30 paragraphs are directly connected with the state of Wei and its people, and the number of people from the state of Wei ranks second in the disciples of Confucius. Zilu, one of Confucius' students, was inducted in the state of Wei as an official for quite a long time. He was buried in Puyang when he passed away, and his mausoleum in the urban area still attracts pilgrims and tourists today. Puyang is one of the important regions for the origin of Chinese family name. Manifold Chinese family names are derived from Puyang, and the reason for the origin of these surnames are complex and diverse. According to the textual research by experts, 17 surnames of our aristocratic family originate in Puyang, which are Zhang, Yao, Gu, Sun, Fan, Meng, Wen, Kong, Liu, Wei, Kuai, Qi, Si, Lu, Kou, Qin, Shi, and other 70 surnames also stem from Puyang. The surname of Zhang is derived from Puyang, and the Zhang clan is the descendant of Hui, and the grandson of the Yellow Emperor and the inventor of ancient bow and arrow. Because the creation of bow and arrow contributed a lot to the society at that time, the Emperor Zhuanxu indicted Hui as the official in charge of the making of bow and arrow. The combination of the two Chinese characters bow and arrow is exactly the character Zhang, and that is the origin of the surname of Zhang. In 1994 and 1995, the seminar on the origin of surname Zhang was held in Puyang, and the research conclusion of Zhang originating from Puyang is agreed by people both home and abroad, especially people from the Zhang clan. After 2013, the Global Communication Conference of the family of Zhang was held every 2 years, and the descendants of Zhang clan home and abroad would gather in Puyang, seeking their roots and paying homage to their ancestors. Ideally positioned in the middle part of China, Puyang is one of the important cradles of Chinese civilization, which is hailed as the relic capital of the Emperor Zhuanxu and the hometown of the Emperor Shun. In the old town of Puyang stands an ancient cross street, which was inscribed onto the list of famous historical and cultural streets in China in June 2013. The memorial arches of the buildings, constructed in the Ming Dynasty in the middle of the street, were etched with 4 phrases: the relic capital of the Emperor Zhuanxu, the old county of Changyuan, and the safeguard of north of the Yellow River, the important location for frontier defense, telling the long history and the former glory of Puyang. Puyang was known as Diqiu in ancient times, where Zhuanxu, the grandson of the Yellow Emperor and the second emperor in remote ages, once built the capital of his state here. Afterwards, Diqiu emerged as the capital in the Xia dynasty twice, and later became the capital of the state of Wei in the spring and autumn period. Starting from the reign of the Emperor Zhuanxu, Diqiu had been the capital for over 2,000 years, making it one of the capitals with the longest history during China's pre-Qin era. This site is located in the north of Gaocheng village, Wuxing Township, Puyang County, Henan Province. Large-scale trial excavation was implemented from 2005, covering an area of 9.16 million square meters within 10 ramparts. This city is an ancient town site constituted by buildings constructed in different dynasties, such as Longshan culture, Shang, Western Zhou, the Spring and Autumn, the Warring States, and Han. In June 2006, over 20 scholars and experts from such authoritative departments as the Chinese Academy of Social Science and Peking University conducted on-site inspections and academic research, and unanimously agreed that this site was the location of Diqiu, the capital of the state of Wei, from the late spring and autumn period to the Warring States period. In 2012, Puyang was endowed with the title of the Imperial Capital of China by the Association of Chinese Famous Ancient Capitals. As a political center in remote ages, Diqiu enjoys a relatively high historical status in China, as it contributed a lot to the formation and development of the Chinese nation. The site of Diqiu has lain beneath the Earth's surface for a long time due to flooding, so it is called China's Pompeii by archaeologists. Puyang is also the hometown of Yu Shun, one of the 5 great emperors in remote ages. Shun is the Emperor Zhuanxu's grandson in the 7th generation. It is Shun who initiated the Chinese culture of filial piety, so later generations rank him first in China's traditional 24 stories about filial piety. Shun moralized people in his state, forming an archetype of a civilized country. So, Sima Qian hailed him as the inventor of moral governance. In November 2001, a delegation made up of over 20 archaeologists from fields such as history, geography, and artifact research, home and abroad, conducted an on-site inspection on the area where Shun lived in his early time. It was ascertained that Shun was born from the south of Shuzhen, Puyang County, and believed that he had long lived in regions around Puyang when he was an adolescent. In September 2006, the 19th International Shun Clan Convention was held in Puyang. During the spring and autumn and the Warring States periods, Puyang was not only the capital of the state of Wei, but also the location for dukes to gather and federate, Qicheng. The extant ramparts of Qicheng and its platform for gathering and federating still remain with us even after millenniums, and have erased countless memories, redolent of the scenes of dukes contending for hegemony in the 5th century BC. As the saying goes, the unique features of a local environment always give special characteristics to its inhabitants. For thousands of years, diligent people in Puyang, coupled with their wisdom, have created unique local culture and folk crafts, abounding with ancient customs. This is totally a wonderful visual feast of acrobatics, which achieves the consummate combination of astonishment, wonder, excellence, and beauty with its original creativity, brand new stage design, and ingenious choreography. What a show not only injects vitality to the ancient acrobatic art, but also adds brilliance to Puyang's present splendor as the hometown of acrobatics. Puyang acrobatics is derived from the spring and autumn period, popular in the Tang and Song dynasties, flourishing in the middle and late Qing dynasty. Among Puyang acrobatics, Dongbeichuang village is famous both at home and abroad for its close-to-life style of acrobatics. Here, no matter a gray beard of 99 years old or a child who just learns how to walk, everyone has a good command of acrobatics. After the municipal government of Puyang was established, Puyang acrobatics gained a leapfrog development. A batch of quality programs such as Lions in Spring, Chairs Balancing and Climbing were created and performed, winning over 300 prizes in various international and domestic acrobatic competitions. In recent years, Puyang vigorously developed cultural industry, transforming the resource superiority of acrobatics into one of its industrial strengths by investing 900 million yuan to build China Puyang International Acrobatic Industrial Park, creating large-scale acrobatic performance, water show, and acrobatic melodramas such as Shennong Tribe and Snow White. The 2019 National Acrobatic Show, also the 4th Chinese Acrobatic Arts Festival, was successfully held and will be long held in Puyang, achieving new breakthroughs in the inheritance and innovation of acrobatic arts. With more than 50 acrobatic troupes in Puyang, having performed in over 60 countries and regions, Puyang is marching forward towards the goal of building a world-class acrobatic city. Puyang is well known as the hometown of Chinese drama. During the late Qing dynasty and the early Republic of China, Puyang opera exerted great influence on the Central Plains region. Qiao Qingxiu was a Puyang native. whose Zhuizi show, a kind of ballet singing performance, learn widely from other performances at villages. So she was hailed as the Queen of Zhuizi and enjoyed high reputation in Beijing and Tianjin in the 1930s and 1940s. Puyang's Mulian drama, Daxian drama, Liuzi drama and Luoyang drama have been passed down for over a millennium, which can be said to be the earliest ancestor and the living fossil of Chinese drama. As a matter of fact, over 20 types of drama were once historically rooted in Puyang. So, the famous drama expert Ma Zichen acclaimed Puyang as the Chinese veritable center of drama and hometown of drama. Puyang municipal government attaches great importance to the restoration and maintenance of historical and cultural relics, as well as the protection and inheritance of unique folk crafts. With its efforts in this regard, these wood stock paintings, New Year wood block paintings, total relief paints, filled with feathers in rural life, have been collected by various museums. The black pottery techniques several thousand years ago have also been excavated and restored in recent years, emerging as a unique pottery art in the world. As a city of vitality, Chinese Kung Fu, a perfect combination of combat and bodybuilding, have been passed on from generation to generation in Puyang. As China's national sports, table tennis is widely popularized in Puyang, and the Ping Pong Experimental School of the Chinese Table Tennis Association, Puyang, is established here, aiming to cultivate more ping pong champions in the future. China's national training base of bicycle motocross is also settled in Puyang, so is the Puyang Qingfeng Extreme Sports Base, which is the largest comprehensive extreme sports base in China. As you can see, Puyang is sparing no efforts to build a city famous for its extreme sports and bicycle motocross.
Oh, what a feeling! Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave away my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back.
Puyang's traditional snacks and local specialties share a history as long as its ancient cities. Snacks such as Wangwu-based marinated meat in baked bun, Liu Baiju's sausages, Jiwo sesame baked pancake, Taiqian viscous mixed porridge, Fanshan County's braised mutton, and number 1 Scholar's wine not only have a perfect combination of color, aroma, and taste, but also have popular stories behind these delicate foodstuffs. Being in a traditional street and tasting local delicacies, a feeling of nostalgia of embracing traditions and getting close to ancestors is apt to well up in modern people's hearts, an atmosphere redolent of the distant Ming and Qing dynasties. Luoyang is a city of pleasant environment with a hospitable climate and also a city of garden with picturesque scenery. In the urban areas, there are large parks such as Qicheng Park, Longcheng Square, Yihe Square, Xinlei Park, Weiming Square, Xihuan Park, and Desheng Park, while on the periphery stand the Zhongyuan Green Manor, Puyang Ecological Park, Longshan Forest Park, and Jingdihe River Wetland Park, all of which serves as popular resorts for citizens. In 2003, Puyang won the gold medal in the competition of International Garden City held in Netherlands. Puyang is indeed an ecological friendly city. Based on the structure of Yellow River, Jingdi River, Majiao River and the Trunk Canal for transferring water to Puyang Lake, 4 great ecological corridors have been established in Puyang, and a modern green network in the levee, green corridors out of the levee. Green core in the city has gradually taken shape. In addition, with 15 forest parks being built, green space in the city significantly increases, making the forest coverage rate of Puyang reach over 31%. With the restoration of ecological wetlands and the establishment of 6 ecological wetland parks, such as Puyang Jingdi River Park, Nanle Majiao River Park, and Taiqian Jinshui River Park and Provincial Nature Reserve of Yellow River Wetland, Puyang presents harmony between mankind and nature, with titles like National Garden City and National Forest City. Puyang is also an industrial city with distinctive features. Depending on the abundant oil and gas resources and business, Puyang is moving forward to a leading industrial position. What's more, the base of new chemical industry covering 60 square kilometers has taken its initial shape, and emerging strategic industries such as new energy, new materials, new energy automobile, energy saving and environment protection are all thriving in Puyang. Puyang is ideally positioned in China. With a pound-shaped network of expressway, the transportation in Puyang is convenient. In the wake of the completion of Chengdu to Jinan high-speed railway, passengers from Puyang can arrive in Zhengzhou and Jinan within an hour, and in Xiong'an New Area and Beijing Daxing International Airport within 2 hours. Based on the transit station of Shanxi to Henan to Shandong Railway in Puyang, Puyang starts a rail ocean freight service from Puyang to Tianjin in cooperation with Tianjin Port Group, thus opening a thoroughfare for Puyang's sea cargo transportation. As Puyang Commodity Inspection and Testing Bureau and Puyang Customs Administration come into operation, Puyang has gradually emerged as a dry port, and it has also already become the bridgehead connecting Beijing, Tianjin, Hebei Bohai Economic Circle and Shandong Peninsula Blue Ocean Economic Circle. As the demonstration area of developing urban and rural areas in a coordinated and balanced way, Puyang New Area has made a huge investment in its modernization drive. A modern civilized city of Puyang is thriving, which presents a picture of lucid water, lush mountains and picturesque scenery, playing a leading role in the process of achieving new urbanization. In the future, Puyang New Area will continue to lead this city to obtain more progress, to build a city featured by wealth, strength, innovation, well-being and a pleasant ecological environment. Puyang, a magical and beautiful land, is not only home to splendid and time-honored history and cultures, but also a city where economic and social development is booming. A modern and open Puyang is stretching its arms, warmly welcome friends all around the world to feel its charm, to share its opportunities, and to unfold a new chapter of cooperation and development.
Shedding the first light on Chinese civilization, Luoyang is reputed as the cradle of Chinese culture. The legend of He Tu and Luoshu, the earliest historical documents unearthed here, represents the earliest Chinese civilization. According to legend, The Chinese characters were invented by a man named仓颉in ancient area of Luoyang. The Arlito ruins in Luoyang claims to be the earliest China, unveiled the mystery of the earliest capital in East Asia. On top of Mangshan Mountain sits the largest mausoleum site in China, dubbed as the Oriental Pyramid. The White Horse Temple, the first Buddhist temple in China, is praised as the ancestral temple of Buddhism. The famed Longmen Grottos, one of the top 3 grottos in China, is the largest collections of royal stone carving existing in the country. 5 ancient capital ruins were discovered in Luoyang, which is rarely seen in the world. These representative ancient ruins have witnessed China's 5,000 years of history and civilization. Located on the routes of the Silk Road and the Grand Canal in Sui and Tang dynasties, Luoyang is the only city with 2 sites designated as UNESCO's World Heritage in the same year. Luoyang is the spiritual homeland of traditional Chinese culture. The Duke of Zhou and Confucius, the founders of ancient ritual system, created the moral basis for a ritual community. Their thoughts influenced the values and spirit of the Chinese people for thousands of years. Luoyang is a classic model of ancient capital city and landscape pattern. It was the most enduring of the capital cities in terms of duration and the number of dynasties it served. It has been the world's largest metropolitan city in the history. As the saying goes, Luoyang has an abundant collection of celebrated gardens. The Sui and Tang dynasties unfolded the greatest era in Chinese history. Luoyang is also home to Peony, the national flower of China. Flowers grow best in Luoyang, among which the peony stands out brilliantly. Since peonies were first cultivated here, Luoyang's peony research bases have the largest variety of peonies with full ranges of colors and the most advanced cultivation technology. Luoyang, the undoubted capital of peony in China, boasts its peony flowers the finest under heaven. Luoyang people's passion for peonies has been nurtured and passed down from generation to generation. The China Peony Culture Festival, annually held in Luoyang, showcases both the ancient capital and blooming peonies. Peony icon and interesting stories, legends, and poetry transmit our traditions to younger generations. After the founding of the People's Republic of China, Luoyang developed as one of the heavy industry centers. The passionate years of the great industrial age made the city an old industrial base. China's first tractor made its debut in Luoyang. The first floated glass production line and the first large-scale mine grinding machines with intellectual property rights were made here as well. China's first satellite was imprinted with marks made in Luoyang. The policy of reform and opening up has prompted Luoyang to develop southward across Luohe River and endowed the city with openness and innovation. New ideas bring new outlooks for Luoyang City. The modern metropolis circle begins to thrive. Luoyang has repositioned itself in the new era. The national-level industrial bases such as the China Pilot Free Trade Zone in Henan, the Zhengzhou Luoyang Xinxiang National Innovation Demonstration Zone, and the National Cross-Border E-Commerce Comprehensive Pilot Zone are all located here. The new ranks of national level, such as the National Model City of Entrepreneurship and Innovation Base for Small and Medium Enterprises. The demonstrate area of the National System of Public Cultural Services and the National Heluo Culture Ecological Protection Experimental Zone are all approved and established here in Luoyang. With a rapid and steady socio-economic development, Luoyang's GDP has ranked first among the non-provincial cities in the middle and the west of China. Its industrial structure has been transformed with the backbone of advanced manufacturing industry. Scientific and technological innovation fuel the engine of high-quality development. Leading industries like equipment manufacturing and petrochemical production have been upgraded. Key projects involving Luoyang include the Three Gorges Dam, West-East natural gas transmission, South-to-North water diversion, the Chengdu spacecraft, the Jiaolong deep-sea exploration device, and the 500-meter aperture-spherical radio telescope. The traditional industries continuously achieve the high quality made in China. Emerging industries such as robotics and renewable energy products have sprung up rapidly. Luoyang owns the biggest research and development centers for specialized robots and the state-of-the-art factories producing accessories for alternative energy vehicles. Such innovations and new technologies continue to support and develop Luoyang's emerging industries. Historic leaps were made in Luoyang's transportation construction. With the newly launched metro line, Luoyang claims to be the first non-provincial city in central and western China to have a subway. Well-developed highways, railways, and aviation systems are shortening the distance between Luoyang and the rest of the world. Its urbanization strategy called One Center and Six Sub-Centers has provided convenience in traffic, business, and trade, all aimed at improving living conditions. Luoyang has also been striving to take advantage of Belt and Road Initiative, aiming to build itself into a sub-center in the central Henan urban agglomeration and the new growth engine in Henan's economy. The fusion of culture and tourism boosts Luoyang's development. The Oriental Capital of Museum attracts the world's attention. The Arlito Relics Museum contributes to the research of tracing the origin of the Chinese civilization and the construction of Inheritance and Innovation Zone of Chinese civilization in Henan. The National Historical and Cultural Park, covering nearly 47 square kilometers of Luoyang city relics from the Sui and Tang Dynasty, is a world-class brand of cultural relic protection. International Ancient Capitals Forum expands interchanges of civilizations among different countries. Central China Cultural Tourism Industries Expo is updated with international and professional features. Luoyang is making effort to improve its function of international exchange center. Luoyang has a unique advantage of cultural and historical resources. As the ancient capital of 13 dynasties, it aims to redevelop itself into a world-famous travel destination and to reproduce the flourishing scene of the ancient capital of the Sui and Tang dynasties. The future of Luoyang City. As the capital of 13 dynasties and the garden city with fragrant peony, Luoyang restarts a new era, reinvigorates and reappears at splendor. Under the strong rising of central China and the springing up of ecological protection and high-quality development in the Yellow River Basin, Luoyang will stick to the policy of reform and opening up, promote the construction of Henan metropolitan area with Luoyang as new driving force, start a new journey to modernize and strengthen the city construction, and present new look of Luoyang city. Luoyang, China, an ancient and modern city with poetic dreams.
新农村有了新